Nothing about that evening felt unusual at first. I was in my room, hunting for my favorite jeans, the ones with the frayed cuffs, while my mom called from the kitchen about being late. The smell of her hairspray drifted down the hall. We all bundled into the car, my brother grumbling about the cold and my mom fussing with her purse. I remember thinking, just another fundraiser, nothing to worry about. I was finally 18, old enough to order a drink, and honestly, I just wanted something normal. The bar was already humming when we arrived. Laughter, clinking glasses, the jukebox rattling out some old pop song. Everyone seemed to know everyone, and for once, I felt like I belonged. I went to pay for my drink, a rum and coke, nothing fancy, and the bartender just smiled. "Already sorted," she said. I glanced around, confused, and caught sight of my cousin's partner, Marcus, nodding at me from the corner. Marcus was older, maybe 30, maybe a bit less. I barely knew him. He always seemed to disappear when we visited my cousin, always quiet, always polite. I gave him a quick wave. He just raised his glass, didn't say much. It was just a normal exchange. I thanked him, and he just shrugged it off. I didn't think anything of it. The rest of the night was easy. Drinks, music, my family chatting about nothing in particular. By 11:30, I was tired. I rounded up my mom and brother, told them I was heading home. My mom had plans to stay at Grandma's that night, so I figured I'd have the house to myself. I was looking forward to it. I stepped outside for a smoke before heading to my old Toyota. The air was cold, sharp. I could see my breath curling in the streetlight. People were still milling around, laughing, shouting, saying their goodbyes. I was about to flick my cigarette and head to the car when I heard someone call my name. I turned, and there was Marcus, hands in his jacket pockets, walking toward me. He asked if I was heading home, just like that.
"You heading home now?"
I told him, yeah, it was late, I was calling it a night. He sort of smiled, then mentioned my car, like the make and color, said he'd see me around. The way he said it, I don't know, it made my skin crawl a little. I just said goodnight and walked off, trying not to look back. There were people around, so I didn't really feel threatened, just uneasy. As soon as I got in the car, my phone started ringing. It was my mom, her voice shaking. She begged me to go to Grandma's house instead of home. She said she had a bad feeling. She never did that, not like this.
"Leila, please, just go to your grandmother's tonight. I can't explain it, but I have this awful feeling. Please don't go home."
I was annoyed, honestly. I just wanted my own bed, my own room. I told her I'd think about it, but as soon as I hung up, I drove toward home anyway. It was closer, and I was tired. Halfway home, my phone buzzed again. I pulled over, frustrated. It was my sister, texting the same thing. "Go to Grandma's, please." She said she felt weird, too. By then, I was just done arguing. I turned the car around and headed to Grandma's. When I got there, the house was dark, everyone asleep. I crept into the guest room and crashed, still annoyed, but too tired to care. The night was quiet. No dreams, no weird noises. I woke up to the smell of coffee and my family's voices drifting down the hall. At breakfast, everyone was talking about how they'd felt this weird sense of dread last night. My mom, my sister, even my grandma. That's why they hadn't wanted me to go home. I just laughed it off, but I could see how shaken they were. After lunch, my mom and I drove home. As soon as we pulled into the driveway, I felt wrong, like the air was heavier. The house looked the same, but I couldn't shake the feeling something was off. At the front door, I spotted a police card wedged into the frame. It just said, "Call us ASAP." My stomach dropped. I hadn't seen a police card at our house, ever. Inside, the house was silent. Sunlight cut across the kitchen table. That's when I saw my mom's camera sitting right there, except it was supposed to be in my bedroom. My skin prickled. I walked down the hall to my room. The door was cracked open. My heart hammered as I stepped inside. My blankets were pulled back, clothes everywhere, my underwear drawer yanked open, and half the contents scattered on the floor. My TV was gone. Another camera was set on the table across from my bed. I just stood there, staring. If I'd come home last night, I would have walked right in, crawled into bed in the dark, never noticing a thing. That thought made my head spin. My mom called the number on the police card, hands shaking. She spoke quietly, voice tight, while I tried to keep from freaking out.
The police said there'd been a break-in next door last night. Our neighbor found a man wandering inside their house, said he was my friend, got the wrong place. They chased him out.
Our house had a big deck that looked over the neighbor's yard. After they chased the guy out, they saw him again. This time he was just standing on our deck, smoking, staring down at their place. The neighbors called the police again. Officers came to our house around 2 a.m. They saw the lights on, but nobody answered the door. They went inside to check. They made their way through the house, room by room. When they got to my bedroom, they found him, Marcus, hiding in the dark, crouched by my bed. He couldn't explain why he was there, or why he'd been hiding.
They arrested him. He told them he was waiting for you, Leila. He said he knew you'd be coming home that night.
I sat on the edge of my ruined bed, trying to breathe. If I'd come home, I would have walked right into that room, right into whatever he'd planned. I kept picturing it, over and over. Marcus was charged with breaking and entering. He spent some time in jail before leaving the country. I never saw him again, but I still think about that night, about the feeling my mom had. Now, whenever my mom says she has a bad feeling, I listen. No questions, no arguments. I don't care how silly it seems. I still wonder what would have happened if I hadn't listened. Sometimes, when I'm alone in my room at night, I think I hear footsteps on the deck. Maybe it's nothing, but I always check the locks, just in case.